up, today's relief work continues for flood survivors in Indonesia's Jakarta. We look back to the history of China's Chenzhou city and discover its deep ties with Taiwan. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. First up, in Indonesia, severe flooding in Jakarta has forced over 60,000 residents to evacuate to temporary shelters. Besides setting up a shelter at the local Jingsiho, city volunteers also established a central kitchen at DaAi village to provide thousands of hot meals for flood survivors on a daily basis. Days of torrential rain in Indonesia's Jakarta have inundated the city, turning roads into small rivers. Telikgon is one of the few suburbs in North Jakarta where shops are still open.
To make a living, we will continue to run our shops even if others don't. We don't actually have a choice. There are no markets near our house, so we have to walk further to buy food.
As floodwaters have reached over meters high in most areas, some 68,000 residents were forced to evacuate. The Indonesia Jingsiho also took in seniors and children.
If there were no temporary shelters, we would be stuck at home with no food to eat.
It was all planned to use this area as a large-scale temporary shelter. The car park will accommodate the refugees, and there are also bathrooms and a mosque available.
Apart from providing clothing and baby formula, team of doctors are also on site to provide medical care. In East Jakarta, Tzichi could also be found working with the military to set up a central kitchen.
Tzichi and the military have always had a great partnership.
With East Jakarta badly hit, Tzichi volunteers bring rice and hot meals to over 1,200 disaster survivors who are seeking shelter at a local church.
We couldn't bear to see the needy suffering, so we are here to help. Thank you very much. We don't have to worry about food anymore.
Tzichi's arrival not only warms stomachs but also the hearts of many. With nearly 1,000 residents packed into a temporary shelter in Muara Baru, North Jakarta, city volunteers, with the help of the police, bring relief items to those in need.
We were stuck at home and my child was sick. I had no choice but to seek help.
Even if you didn't provide this assistance, we would already be grateful that you have come here to care for us.
We knew that they would be lacking aid supplies at the temporary shelters, so we hope to ease their burdens.
As Indonesia is currently in its monsoon season, days of torrential rain have left many districts underwater, including the low-lying areas of East Jakarta as well as communities along the Angke River.
It used to flood only once every 5 years, but the last 2 years, we have experienced severe flooding every year.
City volunteers travel on rubber rafts to distribute aid supplies and hot meals to flood survivors, and in the process they see the cause of the flooding.
Because everyone throws their garbage everywhere, that has caused the flooding. We're also here to promote environmentalism.
On January 18th, Tzichi volunteers set up a central kitchen at the DaAi village and have since provided over 10,000 hot meals to those in need, with part of the ingredients donated by kind-hearted villagers.
What makes us happy is that when we called on volunteers and villagers to donate, many of them responded enthusiastically.
Amid the despair comes mutual assistance and love, giving survivors the strength to go on.
Moving to the Philippines following Typhoon Haiyan, the Tzichi Foundation has successfully assembled 66 prefab classrooms to allow the students to continue with their studies. Today we join volunteers in Tacloban as they hand over another batch of completed classrooms.
Almost always make us cry before you say goodbye.
Teachers and students have practiced hard in preparation for this day as they express their joy and heartfelt thanks through song.
Thank you for being here.
It's
We're so moved. Thank you, Tzu for providing us with these classrooms. We composed a song to express our gratitude.
I want to thank Tzu for giving us classrooms as ours were destroyed the typhoon.
To Santa Fe School.
At the ceremony, the prefab classrooms are officially handed over to Santa Fe Elementary.
Thank you very much.
We are very happy. No words can express the feeling about the thanks to Chuchi Foundation. 5 classrooms they are really useful to us, because without that temporary classroom, we cannot turn to normal schedule.
Chuchi Foundation in Taiwan and Philippines Division brings 3 temporary classrooms for the school and children. It represents compassion from Master Zheng Yan and great love of all the world. Thank you very much.
The materials used in the assembly of the classrooms came all the way from Taiwan. City volunteers from Taiwan and the Philippines braved the sun, wind and rain, all in hopes of giving these children a better learning environment.
We find this classroom very cool, and the children are very happy to having this. So we are very thankful that the Chuchi Foundation give us this kind of shelter.
I'm comfortable because it's big.
His determination to overcome all obstacles was a moving sight for both students and teachers.
There's some joy. Very big help to our children. they can continue their dreams through the temporary classroom that you've given us. Thank you, Chuchi Foundation.
Okay naman na po kasi
I'm glad we have these classrooms. Now we don't have to worry about stopping class each time it rains.
Hindi na kami nababasa, tapos
with a sturdy foundation and cool interior, students can now continue their studies with peace of mind.
小朋友多喜欢这些教室呢？他们现在要亲口说出来。Okay, everybody, 1, 2, 3.
Behind the successful completion of Tzuchi's prefabricated classrooms was a group of Tzuchi construction volunteers from Taiwan and Manila who flew to the disaster areas at their own expense to help erect these prefab classrooms. They pushed on rain or shine, all for the sake of the affected students.
Receiving a red carpet-like welcome are these people.
It's so happy this Chuchi because to help in Alang-Alang National High School.
We have a school now, and we all are starting to study hard or so Okay, so thank you so much.
After spending many days in central Philippines, this group of Tzuchi construction volunteers from Taiwan devoted themselves wholeheartedly to their duty, rain or shine, for they have a mission to accomplish. As Tzuchi's prefabricated classrooms are finished one by one, there is no need for words to express these volunteers' happiness.
I have personally led my team to here from Taiwan. We represent the Tzuchi Foundation. Our goal is to install prefabricated classrooms so students at your school can have a safe environment and space to continue their education. We are very happy to be here, and we wish everyone good fortune and prosperity.
We promise that we will take good care of these structures so that it will serve us longer, and we will use this longer, and this will be a productive temporary learning center.
Through simple handover ceremonies, the givers and receivers share an emotional moment.
Thank you for making me company. Thank you for being my friend.
Though these volunteers can endure nature's elements, their heart melts in front of children's innocence.
They're so adorable. It's all worth the effort.
Students offer their handwritten thank you notes in full bamboo coin banks, which did not come by easy as a way to say thanks. But what moves the volunteers the most is
I am so touched, such vibrant vitality. Look at how innocent and lively they are. I feel for them.
I'm truly touched. I'm about to break into tears. I never seen children so happy. We did what we had to do because we want them to continue their education in school. Because Master Zeng Yan said education cannot be delayed.
Then they flew from Taiwan, paid their own plane fare, paid their own hotel, and come here to install it for your students. So if you will take good care of it, that is the highest way of paying back to our brothers for their efforts.
It is not easy for these volunteers to travel all the way to Central Philippines, but the smiles on children's faces make it all worthwhile. Also in the Philippines, city volunteers arrived at the Leyte Provincial Governmental Office on January 21st to hold an aid distribution, as many of the public servants were also affected by Typhoon Haiyan. In all, volunteers brought aid supplies and a letter from Master Zeng Yan to 1,051 staff members. When we arrived this morning, the weather was not very good at all.
On January 21st, city volunteers arrived at Leyte Provincial Government Office to hold an aid distribution for its staff members, even though the distribution venue is less than perfect.
The governor called me and asked for help. He said many of his staff members are victims of Typhoon Haiyan as well. Another purpose is for us to lend support to these public servants, encourage them to conduct disaster relief and help survivors.
The disaster strikes those regardless of financial stability or social status. The thousands of Leyte public servants are all Haiyan survivors. Some lost their loved ones and others are rebuilding their homes. 63-year-old Victoriano Ripalda and his wife survived by hiding underneath a desk.
My friend told me the foundation is appreciating this kind of token.
Having survived the disaster, though yet to receive their aid package, like Vittoriano, many government workers already want to share their love. While praying, these public servants think of the disaster, the numerous people left homeless, and the love from around the world, and tears trickle down their faces.
I was touched by your kindness of Master Yang, join your foundation, so I could in some little ways I could help.
Tzu Chi's signature blanket, made from recycled PET bottles, is the love of over 80,000 recycling volunteers in Taiwan.
It's like it's made of good quality, though it's made of plastic. Very nice.
The governor of Leyte province also joined the event to personally read aloud Master Zeng Yan's blessings for everyone.
I promise, Master Zeng Yan, no smoking, no smoking.
Some staff members even donate a portion of their blessings back to Tzu Chi.
We're also damaged by the typhoon, but I think there are more people who needs the help, you know. And I think if you came from other country, give help to us, so much more for us, to our fellow Alepeños. That's all. Thank you very much.
To our employees, that the love that given by Tzu Chi, it's not only for them to receive, but it is also for them to share with the rest of the constituents of Leyte.
With the aid in hand and warmth in heart, these public servants are ready to help the less fortunate see the sunlight through the cloudy skies.
One of the schools Tzu Chi helped build prefabricated classrooms is the St. Scholasticus College, which was established by the nuns of Order of St. Benedict. Tzu Chi volunteers recently returned to the school on January 21st for a quick visit. Let's take a look.
Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines left a trail of destruction at this school, leaving its dormitory, restaurant and gym in ruins. The classrooms once filled with students now lie silent. This is St. Scholasticus College in Tacloban, which was established by the nuns of the Order of St. Benedict.
This is only a small token and of a small value, but I assure you, this came from our hearts, because we want to be like you. We want to help all those who are needy. Thank you.
To reciprocate Tzu Ji's help, teachers and students collectively give a little of their love for the needy. After volunteers rest to complete the 5 prefab classrooms, students can now resume their studies.
Going there, at the back of my mind, I was really thinking, will they entertain us because we are Catholic and they are Buddhist? In less than 5 minutes, Sir Henry went with us in this location.
Because that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
Students joined in song to express their gratitude, showing that Tzu Ji's love has prevailed during this chaotic time.
Dear friends from Chuchi, thank you so much for helping our school. We love you so much. Thank you for providing us big tents so that we can learn things.
Receiving a student's letter of appreciation, volunteers cherish their affinity with these youngsters. Unable to afford the costs of rebuilding, the school planned to shut down for good. Luckily, Tzu Ji lent a helping hand.
We used this one as our chapel. Last week, we had our Holy Mass. The first Holy Mass using this.
Okay, the physical change and the chemical change. So who can differentiate them?
Resuming classes has become one of the greatest blessings for these youngsters. 8th grade Ivory Cuesta cherished this opportunity the most, as she learned the impermanence of life in a disaster.
I was thinking of our school, if it was fine, and how my classmates were, my teachers, and if we are still going to continue studying.
Keeping the prayer beads given by Master Zheng Yan with her, principal of the school, Sister Jessica Alante, said she has been moved by the Master's wisdom and wants to learn more of it.
She asked why all of us have the prayer beads. I told her they are a gift from Master Zheng Yan. Becoming the Master's disciple symbolizes rebirth, so she asked us to give her a set, which I did.
During the celebration, I learned a lot also about the wisdom of Master Cheng Yen. I said, yeah, it's good to be reminded also, especially about the language, about caring and loving and being compassionate.
After class is dismissed, one thing is for sure, tomorrow the students will return as usual.
Master Cheng Yen, thank you so much. I hope to see you in person in Taiwan, or you come to the Philippines and visit us.
In Taiwan, one of the main dialects spoken is Taiwanese, which is based on the Minnan dialect spoken in China's Fujian province. In fact, Quanzhou City in Fujian is considered the birthplace of Minnan culture. Today, we begin a special series to get to know the city and understand its deep ties with Taiwan.
Early in the morning, the chiming bell from a temple brings the city of Quanzhou in China's Fujian province to life. Certainly, the streets are filled with vehicles and people. Due to its location, the city has always been a vital seaport. It was also the starting point of the Silk Road on the sea. In old days, the city was called Citong, or the City of Light. Now it is home to 8.2 million people and stretches for 11,015 square kilometers. The city's ancient Kaiyuan Temple is the biggest temple in the province. Built in Tang Dynasty, it holds some 1,300 years of history.
Inside the Mahavira Hall, we see the 5 Gyangni Buddhas, which feature design elements from the Tang Dynasty. The Dougong we see here is a fusion of Song and Ming Dynasty architecture. Its uniqueness lies in using this mythical holy bird called Kalavinka, which is supposed to dwell in the Himalaya, in place of a traditional capped block.
Finely crafted and decorated, the temple's 2 pagodas, built some 800 years ago, are still standing tall.
The two pagodas we see here, because they were higher than sea level, acted like a lighthouse, a landmark to guide vessels into the Quanzhou harbor. The one on the east end is called Zhengguo, the national pillar, while the one of the west end is called Renshou, compassion and longevity. A compassionate man has a long life is an old Chinese saying. The pagodas were built to bring blessings and prosperity to the people.
The wood couplet hung by the temple says this was once called Land of Buddha, where holy people walked the streets. It was authored by famous Song Dynasty scholar Zhu Xi and written by Venerable Dharma Master Hong Yi in 20th century. Quanzhou's citizens take pride in their acceptance of the world's religions. All major religions are found here, and they coexist in harmony. On Main Street, one sees a temple dedicated to two famous generals, Guan Yu and Yue Fei, while less than 500 meters away is a Muslim mosque. The city shares close ties with Taiwan, not only because of its shared language and dialect, but also because of the strong belief in compassionate giving to alleviate suffering.
In China's Yunnan, a volunteer couple, Yang Yiming and Yu Hui, have recently become certified city volunteers. One of the reasons the couple have become so devoted to the Buddhist NGO is their daughter Yu Jiani, who has learned to be a better student and daughter through absorbing Tzu Chi's humanitarian spirit.
Hello? Mom, are you coming home for dinner? I'll make some dishes first, alright?
This is Yu Jiani, who used to be a rebellious child, but is now much more mature and thoughtful.
From 1st to 3rd grade, I was a poor student. Sometimes I would walk around the classroom when class was still in session.
She told her classmates that it is too boring to sit in a classroom and said they should all fly away like fairies.
Thanks to Tzu Chi's influence, Jiani's parents no longer have to worry about her performance at school.
After going to the Tzu Chi Kunming office regularly, I was surprised to learn that I was able to sit for long hours, listening to the volunteer stories and Master Zheng Yan's lectures. Now I am able to sit calmly and listen to my teacher's lectures in school as well.
Actually, I feel quite relieved to see her changes. It's amazing that someone so ruthless like her can now sit so quietly. It is quite different from how she used to be.
Before, I was really childish, and the only thing that came to mind was playing. I didn't like to do my homework. However, now if I don't do homework, I will feel uncomfortable.
For 3 years now, I no longer have to sit by her side to keep an eye on her when she does her homework.
Now Yu Jiani is a middle school student and learns to be an independent child. Thanks to Tzu Chi, her parents can now trust their daughter to do the right thing.
After finishing your homework, go to bed, alright? Bye.
Jiani supports her parents on their Tzu Chi path, and they in turn have shown their willingness to have her take part in Tzu Chi's events in the future.
We encourage her to be a Tzu Chi volunteer when she grows up.
We'll go to Vietnam at the end of today's show, as Tzu Chi volunteers have received permission to hold aid distributions in Binh Dong province. They held a year-end distribution event to give poor families the needed aid supplies to celebrate the Lunar New Year ahead. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.